Welcome to Deeply Disturbing Things.
Cha-cha chit-chat.
I'm Macie.
I'm Naomi, and we are chitting the chat.
Hey.
Hey, how was your Easters?
My Easters, I went to my mom's house. And so I did it all in a day. So I drove 3 hours there, back later that night after eating a ton of food. And yeah, so.
That's rough. After I ate a bunch, I just want to rest.
Yeah, I did that when I got back and then slept, but it was good. How about you? How was your
awesome? We had our Passover Seder.
Mm-hmm.
The food was phenomenal. I nailed it this year. This is my best Passover year.
Good job. Go you.
Passover Seder for the win. Yeah.
Must have been all those plague puppets on your side.
Yes, the plague puppets really helped jazz it up.
I can see that. I found out a weird fact today that I didn't know. That apparently, so did you know that when you're on an airplane, the like elevation that you're at like messes with your taste buds, so you can't taste some foods, so that they have to give you like really like salty, really sugary foods on a plane in order for you to like taste it. What do you think about that?
I don't really like people messing with me that way.
What do you mean? Well, they're not doing it. I'd
rather there's full disclosure in those situations.
I mean, technically they're just making it taste better, but I'm curious, like if I ate one of those like meals just down here on Earth,
yeah,
would I like spit it out because it's so salty, or would I be
like, that's why I'm upset and feel like I need consent to be eating really salty or sugary foods?
You actually seem more upset than I was expecting, but now that actually does make sense.
I don't like salty food. I don't cook with a lot of salt, so I would be personally offended if later that night I'm waking up in the middle of the night because I'm thirsty.
Yeah, no. And I was thinking too, like you already get like dehydrated on a plane because depending on how long your flight is, like you don't typically drink very many fluids because you don't want to go to the bathroom, and they're salting up your food.
No thanks.
You're just pruning.
What other secrets have they been keeping over our heads?
Do you know where I learned that?
No.
I learned that on some random cooking show. I don't even know the name of the cooking show because it's not one that I normally see. But he was like, I want to make a show about meals on planes. And then he mentioned that. And I was like, oh, what?
Shocking.
I am shocked.
I want to know everything at all times.
Me too. Well, yeah, like just a little sticker that says higher sodium, 320 grams, or, like, I don't know.
Yeah, let me make the choice.
Because I still think it tastes like mush and not very flavorful. So I may be like, hey, up my saltage, please.
Up my saltage?
Yeah, is that good?
I'm salty enough. I don't need the extra salt.
That's true.
I went to the dentist last week.
Oh, I did that like 3 weeks ago. How'd it go for you? I know you hate it.
Horrible.
You hate the dentist.
It was the worst. I finally worked my way back into the good dentist.
Okay.
Remember, I got kicked out like 7 years ago or something for bad behavior.
For being
so I finally got an appointment back in at the good dentist. I'm like, I'm right. I'm going to do this.
Was it just a cleaning?
It was not just a cleaning because, Macie, I decided to take off COVID from dentistry.
Okay, no, I did that too.
I mean, typically I'm like the every 6 months, like
in and out,
maintain this baby. But I didn't want like so much breath interaction right up close while I'm also in distress.
Yeah.
So it was an abnormally long period of time in between my last dentist appointment. And I thought this whole time I had my dentist Xanax stashed somewhere, could not find it, and
prescribed had a moment of panic, PRN.
But I'm like, I cannot miss this appointment. Like,
You
They're
big
giving me
girled
a second
it.
chance.
You
I
big
gotta go.
girled it.
I'm like, all right, I'm going raw. I'm doing it.
Look at you surviving.
And I'm like, it's just a cleaning. That's what I told myself. I'm like, it's just a cleaning. It'll be fine.
I hate
it's not like I'm getting fillings.
When they do the flossing
whatever.
and they're like just like rougher than I feel like they need to be. Like, you do know that you're like just paper cutting me between my gums when you just go bam, bam. Like, why?
I had like fissures at the corner of my mouth after this appointment.
Really? Ow. That sounds rough. And they're in there like grinding.
Yeah, so they start doing this thing and I'm like, what is this? Like, I have never had this done before.
I did not sign up for this
technique that developed in the last 2 years.
Is this my sodium sticker?
Is this what goes on at the good dentist? Like, it was like this vicious stream of water that was just
they did that with me too,
under my gums. And they're like, we only do this if you have
pressure.
Like gingivitis. And I'm like,
because they go up into
I have
like
gingivitis. So that's what happens when you don't go to the dentist for 2 years. You get gingivitis. So it was brutal. It was so painful. And they offered me like a nummy swish, but I declined because I get really terrible anxiety about like if it got anywhere near my tongue or my throat and I would feel like I couldn't breathe. So I was just like raw. I was physically raw. I was emotionally raw. It was awful. I'm like,
proud of you though. I'm proud of you.
When we're halfway through, just tell me, let's pause. Whew, but I did it.
You did it. Did they give you a sucker at the end? A sugar-free sucker?
No, I've always suggested they should have an adult prize box.
Absolutely. That was my only motivation as a child. And it was the best. It really was. I picked stickers every time.
They could have like Starbucks gift cards. They could have like airplane alcohol bottles. Like
nobody wants to be here. I'm willingly giving you my money.
Fill in your cracked corners of your mouth that they tore up.
To be fair, we should probably offer something like that for counseling. Great counseling session today. Here's your Starbucks gift card.
No, that's a really good idea.
I do think it is a really good idea. Like,
Stella can now open
$5.
doors. I'm sure you've noticed the door behind you.
I do. She's really become a force of nature. Can't wait to see her as a teenager. There's
a lot happening with her newfound freedom within the household at all hours.
Freedom. I'm not excited. This weather has been weird. I'm like, most people around my house have mowed. Like, they mowed a few weeks ago when it was like that one really nice weekend while I did other things, because obviously. And now it's been horrible weather where I'm not gonna like mow my lawn, but my lawn looks like soggy trash compared to everyone else's lawn. It's just all like folded over itself and sad.
I know. I need my lawn ladies to come and give it a gussy.
What's a gussy? Like a gust?
A gussy it up.
Gust up? A gust up? Gussy
what
up?
It needs.
I haven't heard that in a
Yeah, mine's not looking that great either.
No. Okay.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Not mow it. I just looked outside. I'm like, it's not good.
I hate mowing the lawn. My kids will mow it, but I think that I do a better job. I don't do any skips. Like, I go over it a few times.
Your front lawn? Your front lawn's like the size of my fingernail compared to my lawn with my front and back.
Did you know that when I was 10, I had my own lawn mowing business?
Really?
With a push mower that I would push around the neighborhood and knock on people's doors and ask them if they wanted their lawn mowed for like $5 or $10.
Did it work? I'm sure people love that.
I made money. And I had my special crisscross technique.
Do those things work
diagonal one way, and then I'd do all diagonal the other way.
Oh, okay. To cross it.
And I didn't rake up shit.
See, I was much less efficient. My dad would tell me, go out, and this was in Snohomish where there's lots of dandelions. Go out in the backyard. I think he's just trying to keep me busy in hindsight, but go in the backyard and pull as many dandelions as you can from the yard. Put them in a bucket and I'll give you a penny each. So I went out there.
Like roots and all?
I didn't understand during my first deployment, and I just pulled off all the tops off of all of them and had them in there. Eventually it did turn into that.
Everyone you pulled,
but he had to pay up
300 more.
Yes, and he did have to pay up though, because that wasn't written in the rules at first.
Right, you have to have clear expectations.
Yeah. I made a decent bundle. I mean, because they're bazillions, and then I just like made myself profit for the next time by not pulling the roots. Yeah, right. Smart.
You got to have a racket when you're a kid. You got to get the cash for the candy.
Who are you kidding? You have to have a racket as an adult.
Yeah,
I've never I've never expected adulthood to be like this, where it's like, oh, you're just never comfortable. Oh, you're always worried about money. Oh, you often work multiple jobs. Oh,
my client, I accidentally referred to my private practice as my side hustle. Oh. And as soon as the words left my mouth, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that.
It does sound inappropriate. Yes. That's good though. It's my side hustle.
I cannot wait to podcast Thursday. I missed last week.
I'm excited too. You have to hold me accountable at some point. My dad said I'm over my 5 rule.
What's your 5 rule?
I can't do 3 rule. I can't do more than like 3 extensive things at a time without like burning out. And I'm doing like 5 right now. So you're gonna have to help me. The last time I went through this, I ended up getting a divorce. So you know, you can only have so many. And I wasn't willing to give up roller derby at the time.
You can do the wheel of life activity, which is helpful. It's where you take a helicopter view of your life and draw it on paper.
Oh, this is good for everybody, including I'm gonna do this. Okay.
Yeah, and then like it's hard to say with words, but it's like a grid with concentric circles, and then on the outside you put points that are all the things that take up your time, and then depending on how much time you put into them, you make a mark either close into the middle of the circle or all the way out to the outside. So the things you spend the most time on, your mark goes all the way out, and then you connect them and it looks like a cool spider web. But then you kind of look at it and see, are the things that you're spending the time on the things that are the most important to you, and then how you can adjust your web. And maybe you get rid of spokes altogether because you realize it's not even that important. And if it's in there and you're spending time on it, it's drawing focus from what's actually what you want to be spending your life on. I mean, this is our life.
It's my life.
It's our life. And every day matters. Every day isn't a day in our life.
My little dandelion life.
We do not want to work our life away or spend our time doing non-important things.
Yes. Yes. I actually spent, just on a side note of that, I want to see that, by the way. If you have a model, that would be cool. So I can know how to do it.
I think it's in one of my books.
Okay.
I'll try to pull it out.
I spent probably an hour today copying and pasting emails that I send to students for practicum and internship, so I can reuse the same emails next year, because I'm like, I don't want to have to write all this every time for the same thing over and over again.
Oh yeah, that's work smarter, not harder. I mean, I have a template for every YogaCon workshop. I just copy and paste it and change the dates. And if there's anything else that needs to be changed, but
we shouldn't give away all our secrets. So
until next time, sure other people do that too.
Only the smart ones.
I think email templates is something that the world has caught on.
The world is caught on. Yeah. Maybe.
Work smarter, not harder.
Say goodbye so I can stop recording.
Oh my God, I'm still saying sayings.
Do you want me to stop? Fine.
No, it's okay. Bye.